Hey guys, welcome back to Waitlist with Israel. Tonight we are continuing with our final series in the seated chair yoga sessions, okay, so in our practice. This set is designed specifically for seniors as well as for office use, as well as for those that are, you're having a lazy day, you just want to have a chin or to have a chair workout. A slow vinyasa flow that is designed for each and every one. This one is going to be a little bit intense. It's building up on the previous two that we've done. So we're going to be doing a lot of binding, a little bit of back opening, back bending, prajarit, as well as doing our manasana binds from the chair, okay? And it's very important that you find a chair that is not having any armrest, that is strong enough, that is able to support your weight, and is able to give you additional support during the flows, okay? So we're starting now in our binds. We are just going to do a little bit of a stretch to release the legs. We're using props today as well. We're using a dumbbell, and I'm using a yoga ball and some barbell props, okay? So if you don't have any of these props available, you can just improvise, okay? And just use a stable enough, a smaller table, a smaller chair that you're able to rest your feet on, and that is able to give you additional mobility and support, okay? It's important that you just maintain your mobility and give you that rejuvenation, sense of rejuvenation despite this period, okay? Now we are going to start with just stretching out our back. We're getting into our seated mountain pose, okay? This is our seated mountain pose. We just make sure that we are freely anchored, that the sit bone is fully anchored, the sit bones are fully anchored, and we are fully seated on the chair, okay? Present, our chest is slightly lifted up for airway, just to make sure that we have rooted support for the airway. Now, if you're sitting in front of the computer all day, for instance, and you are seated or in front of a desk all day, just try to make sure that you get back into this centered mountain position, okay? Where you're really, really anchored, your breath is freely moving, there's not enough impediments to the free flow of your chest, okay? That you're not slumped in, you're not purling down, but you are seated up straight, okay? For free flow of breath, and that you're anchored and supported, okay? Supporting all the vertebrae that are lining on the lining and centered on the lower back, okay? So let us just take 2 more breaths here, okay? Make sure you're rooted and nicely seated, that you're rooted in the heel bone and the toes are lifted up, okay? And you just take 2 breaths here. Good. Another one. Good. Now we're starting with our binds today. I just want to make sure that our friends are freely moving, are operational. We're just lifting up our arms towards the sky, okay? And just making sure that we're pulling on out and standing onto both sides, okay? And that our head is freely moving, and then we're lifting on upwards, and we take root and we anchor onto the chair, okay? For full support. Take 1 breath here, another one. Good. Now breathe slightly in, and the purpose here is just to anchor, so that we are able to anchor nicely onto ourselves, and then we open them upward again, we extend them outward again. We're taking 2 breaths here, 1. Now I know I take the longer breaths than most, so that's okay. Good. Now we're going to bring it into a bind, okay? Now we'll bring the right hand up onto the left, and we bring the right hand to the back, okay? Now the intention is to try and see that we can reach into a knot here. If you're not able to do so, you can use a belt or a tie or anything that you can use that is available just to bring this into a bind, okay? It's very good for the chest as well as for the shoulders, okay? It's a big shoulder opener. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. Good. Come out and do the second side, okay? Take 1 breath. It's very important that you don't feel any twitch or any pinch. Just doing it lightly without straining too much. Good. And then we bring our dumbbell here, okay? Now, if you're not able to lift up your leg comfortably onto the dumbbell or onto a smaller chair, just for additional support, that is fine. You can easily leave it on the ground. Now I'll show you a variation of doing this bind from the ground, okay? Now, I'm attempting to open up our shoulders. They're a little bit open and intense. They are able to support us during this practice, okay? So we reach down here onto the ground and we just sort of relax here and we take this opener as we open our shoulders deeper for a bind, okay? Now traditionally this will be our Malasana squat bind, and then we're just going to try and see to which extent our legs are able to support us today, okay? And you reach out into your hand and you grab the hand on the opposite side, okay? Into this bind. And you just breathe here, okay? Don't strain, you just binding to the certain degree that is available, okay? Good. It should feel like a very good hip opener. The hips are opening up here. Good. Good. Come out and just release. Now, if you're using the dumbbell as an additional lift for support, make sure that it's fairly stable, okay? It's able to support your weight. It's not moving too much. There's no movement at all. But it's stable, okay? And then we just do the bind. Good. We only want to feel it in the hip. We don't want to feel it in the knees at all, or in the feet. Good. Open up all the way and evolve onto the back, okay? Good. Should be very good stretch for the lower back and for the hips, the quadriceps, and the hamstrings as well, okay? Now, traditionally, you'll be able to sort of extend the leg. If it is available, you can do so. If it's not available, you just leave it, okay? Good. Or whether you're here or on the ground, you can also try to lift it up, okay? It should be available, but you should be properly anchored in the other foot, okay? Good. To the extent that it is able to. Okay, so we just come out and do the other side, okay? Now it's very normal for one side to be tighter than the other. That is perfectly normal. Good. Breathe into the hip. Send breath to the parts that are tensing up. And we don't want to feel any pain at all or any twitching. If you do feel anything, you just come out immediately, okay? Good. Now we'll do the variation here of our bind. Now you can hold onto the hand, or you can grab onto the opposite hand. And it's important that we just try to evolve here. Now you feel it a little bit in the shoulders as they are opening, making space, and thoracic spine as well. It's opening up in the chest. Good. Now, if it's available, you may try to lift up your feet, your leg, to the extent that it is available, okay? Do so. Good. One more breath. Good. Come down. You just release, okay? And you shake, give it a little bit of a shake, just to release the pressure. And that pressure will build up on the shoulders. Should be good for you. It's a good unwinding, okay? It feels very good. It's like a deep tissue massage, okay? For us here. Now, we are going to anchor back into our mountain pose, our seated mountain pose, and we're just going to try and extend our arms upwards, okay? Now we face onto the right side here, and make sure that you're pulling all the way out, the chest is wide and open, freely straining, fully pushing away to the opposite end. The neck is standing freely, and we just turn onto the side. Good. And bring it to center. Return to the opposite side, okay? So this is our warrior two pose, variation here. We'll bring it back, okay? Now, humble warrior is a very good integral part of our salutations, okay? We're just going to attempt a nice humble warrior here by putting our arms to the back and just releasing our neck. Take 2 breaths here. Good. Release. And now we are going to do a side stretch, okay? We're going to extend our right foot here, right foot, we extend it, and there's the forward one, the ankle here, and we're just releasing. The core is very much engaged here to give us that extra support. There's not any additional support on this hand, okay? The support is from our core. We're just engaging our core. Good. If it's available, we'll raise both. Good. Face it forward. Chest pointed upwards. Good. To come out. And do the opposite side, okay? Now we just hang out here. Should be fine. Good enough of a stretch. And you can just leave it here, okay? Try to open up the chest. Facing to the side. Making sure that we're anchored on the core, okay? Not on our opposite elbow. Okay, and we can lift it up to the extent that is available. To the opposite side, we take a breath here. Additional one. Good. Second breath. And we try to go deeper here if it is available. Good. Come out. We center. Now we're going to attempt to do our extensions here, but we're going to use the wall because this is very unstable and it is not wise to do so, okay? We need a very, very stable, hard surface to give us that additional pull, okay? So bring our ball here, our yoga ball. If it is not available, you just improvise, okay? Now we want to bring it further away from you as possible without compromising the seating position, okay? And then we're just going to reach underneath here, and then we're going to just extend, okay? Making sure we're not straining our lower back at all, but we're just as comfortable as possible and opening up our spine, our hips, without going too deep, okay? This should be sufficient stretch. Now we try to open up our shoulders to the opposite side, each to the left and the right. We're not slumped into the ball. Our chest is not slumped, it's pointing upward. We'll try to imagine that you're reaching all the way upward, like an eagle just mounting off of leaping off of a branch here, or of a cliff. Good, just open and whirling and wide. Good, one more breath. Good. Take it to the, come out. And we're going to try to bring it much closer, okay? Much closer to ourselves. So just doing the same motion again, reaching out to the extent that it is available. Good. We're opening up our shoulders, our chest, reaching deeper into the ball, to our hips. Just breathing here, okay? Take 1 or 2 breaths, luxurious breaths. Another one. Generous breaths here. Good. Sufficient enough of a stretch. I'm not going to try to lift them up because the wall surface is not that strong, okay? It's not as stable too. So we're going to come onto the second side here. We're going to go into a bind, another one. If it is not available, it is sufficient to just hang out here, okay? It's sufficient to just hang out here. You can close it off here. Go down. To the extent that it's able to support you. If you don't trust the wall, you can just bring it down. Or you can use a dumbbell for support. It's important that you have as much support as possible. You just put the props close to you so that you can reach out to them as the need arises, okay? Good. Now bring it all the way out to the extent that it is available. We'll just do a side stretch, okay? But we need to be anchored correctly, properly seated, okay? And then we just lift it out. Good. Now we can bend the knee a little bit here and then try to open it as wide if it's available, okay? Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then bring it back. Try to be as gentle as possible, but not yanking too much or making sudden movements, okay? And bring it to the second side. First, it's important to just open up before we go into the side, into the stretch. We need to feel it only in the hamstrings and as well as in the hip, okay? Now sitting bone area. There's no need to go too far. Then you just let gravity lead you to it, okay? Just rest it here. Good. I don't want you to feel it in your knee at all. If you do feel it in your knee, you just back off right away, okay? Good. Now to come out, we just anchor our foot properly, our opposite foot, and then we reach out, and then we extend like a giant tree, just branching toward the sky, okay? Now it's perfectly normal for one side to be tighter than the other, depending on what time of the day it is for you. Towards the end of the day, it should be fine because we've opened up our legs more. Good. One more breath here. Without straining too much or moving too much from the shape, okay? Now we're going to attempt our tree pose, okay? Our Trikonasana here. Now if it is available, we bring it to the chair pose to just support, to anchor into our opposite hip. This is enough of a stretch here. We just leave it here, or we can bring it on top, and then we just root out and open up our arms, okay? Like a giant tree just branching out toward the sky. Branch out toward the sky. Breathe. Good. Come down. Just bring it down. Now, if you're not able to lift up your foot at all, you can just leave it here. This is enough of a stretch. Otherwise, you try to lift it up, okay? Good. We don't compromise our breath to get deeper into our mouth. Good. Rest with the chair. Wide. Good. Come out. And then we try to lift up our foot, okay? It's very good for flexibility and mobility here. That we're able to have these movements. No pain, no twitch on the knees. If there is, then you just come out and you've overextended it. And then to come out, you just lift it up. And then to come out. So I don't want you to make two silent movements here. We just let it be as controlled as possible. And then you bring it all the way out, okay? We'll just shake our hips here a little bit wider. Good. Now we're going to open up our chest area here. We're just making sure that our chest is nice and open. Try to clasp your hands upward. Thrust your chest forward. Have 1 or 2 breaths here. Good. Good. We're going to take the same motion and just go further. We bring it outward. 1 or 2 breaths here. Breathe. Good. Then what we're going to do is try to grab the chair at the opposite sides and then rest our arms and then we just thrust our chest forward. But we're not straining anything here, okay? Making sure that you are properly balanced on the floor, nicely rooted and supported. Try to reach out your shoulder to the opposite side. Expand the chest. Breathe. Lift the chest up. Good. Come out. Just lift it out. And then to go back. Now if you don't reach all the way to the top of the chair, it's fine, you can also just hang out here. But the important part is that we're not straining anything, we feel like we're stretching, okay? It has to be a stretch, a deep tissue stretch. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Come out. Now we're going to go to the opposite side of the mat, okay? Now you can't see, you probably can't see it clearly, but I've put the chair in the middle of the mat. Okay, so that I'm properly anchored. And then we're trying to open up into Pajarit, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. Just anchored here, making sure that our legs are nicely opening up spatially to the extent that it is available. Now we might be able to use a prop for this one actually, just to give us that support. Maybe just hang out here while the hips are opening. It's very good for the hip. It's a hip opener. Good. Try to go down to the extent that it is available for you. Now the further down you go, the more stretch it is. Making sure that you're not losing your balance at all, that you're very much still in control. Good. It's a deep, deep stretch. To come out. Okay. Now if it is available here, we try to reach onto the opposite side. Just grab our arms here. Well, low lunge, deep twist. Good. Or to balance it out, we do so that it's like a proper low lunge. And then we just go down even grab the opposite side. It should feel very good after Bhajarit. Or even Malasana, it should feel good. Deeper. Because the hips are now open and we're stretching really the tissues, okay? The soft tissues to come out. Now, there's a delicate muscle here called the psoas muscle. The tighter it is, the more difficult it is to get into this downward positions. But it's a good stretch for it, okay? The more you do it, the easier it becomes for them to open, for you to reach, to go down. That's important. You can also put yourself down, or you can be on the barbell. It's still the same stretch, okay? Good. Just to come out, you just give it a little bit of a shake. Good. Good. Just feel like you're properly supported here. Nicely anchored onto the chair. Good. As the chair is as gracious as it is. Supporting you. Good. Now we're going to do our final stretch before we close, okay? We try to, for many of us, if it's not available for you to cross your legs this way, this is a very good stretch. If it is not, you just put it here, which is also still fine. Making sure that you're still fully anchored in the chair. Now you bring this hand on the opposite side and you just try to raise the chest up to the opposite side of the chair for an easy side stretch for the lower back. Should feel a very deep release here. That's it. We go to the opposite side and we are closing in a nice Shavasana here, okay? Good. To come out, we go back to our mountain seated mountain pose without any further variation. We just try to take the instruction that we have given our body now, to try to take that champagne fizz sensation that is going through our entire body right now with a rippling, beautiful effect. We're so grateful and thankful for the parts, the tissues, muscles, cells and glands that supported us during this practice. We are giving gratitude, thankfulness, grace. And whether you are nursing, going through a sickness, a cold, a flu, it's very cold this time of the year. It's -5 today in Austria. Whatever region you may be in, you just try to take care of yourself, okay? Drink enough fluids as possible, or electrolytes, good balance, by eating right, eating food for the soul. Take 2 more breaths here. Try to close your eyes and just zone out here, okay? Just relax, breathe. Deeper breaths here. Good. And to come out, we just try to bring ourselves back into the room. Feel the sounds and the temperature in the room. Try to twist and wiggle our little toes, and as well as our fingers. To come out, we just open our eyes and we take a nice namaste here. Thank you so much. Have a nice, lovely, rejuvenated day, and you enjoy the sensations that have gone on through the body. And I'll see you on the mat tomorrow again, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.